so far.
Hello, Mr. Gill.
Hey.
Welcome to Dutch's Junkyard. Is it running?
Yes, it is.
So why did you go out to film today?
You had a grand opening for the Family Dollar.
For the what?
Family Dollar Supermarket.
Oh, that's cool. That's a hell of a camera. You have headphones for when...
Go ahead.
This is the airport. And here is Highway 90 with Todd Subdivision. And there's a bar pit behind Todd Subdivision. And this is the highway that goes around High School Hill and eventually comes around, and there's Red Cypress Road. All of these cane fields used to run this way, 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 down Red Cypress Road, and would flood all these people. So we just got through digging a ditch from here across all that wet land, and we rerouted all these cane fields to here. So the cane fields now don't go to the community. The cane fields run out on their own to the highway. We've been digging on that 3 months. We got a bayou out there, a hell of a bayou. And now we're doing behind Crescent Acres and T-Boy Romero, the high school. We're working our way around back to Red Cypress Road and eventually back out to the highway. You know what we're about to do? I'm talking my board and getting a lawyer involved. The natural gas companies have come through our area and they have plugged up drainage systems. They put a pipeline across where ditch used to be, and now the community can't drain. So we're going to hire a lawyer and make these gas companies lower the lines. Take years, but it'll happen. Just take a long time. All right, that's it.
So why did you get involved in all this? You retired. You don't have to work. You're independently wealthy because you worked your whole life.
I'm retired, but what I'm doing is great for the citizens, great for the taxpayers, and it's fun, and it pays. So it's fun to do. Some of the projects I'd have done if somebody would just ask me to do them. I'd have done them just as a community service. But anyway.
Why do you believe in? Why do you believe in community service? I hear you talking about community service a lot, and what's in it for you? Why do you do community service? Why is community service important?
This country, what makes America great is the people that give back. The basketball coaches, the Pee Wee League, football, the soccer ball, all these little things that children are involved in. People give of their heart and their time and their money. Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, that's what makes America great. So we live in a community, and for what I do, it's going to save money of the taxpayers. It's going to keep us hopefully from getting wet and our houses wet. And my phrase to the board when I went to work there was, I live in Patterson, I pay taxes in Patterson, so anything I do is going to help me as well as my communities. And so that's what drives me.
Oh, I've been hearing a lot about this. I don't know if they're just trying to cause a race war or what it is, but I hear a lot of grumbling against corporate America and how the corporation is screwing America. Whenever some people argue, well, they hire people. How do you feel about people fussing about the corporations? For example, the gas companies.
People that complain about the corporations in the United States and the world have no clue what makes the world go around. They have no understanding. They've never worked in business like I have, and they don't understand that without the corporations of America, there would be no jobs, there would be no welfare, there would be no charities. The largest corporations in the world give millions and millions and millions of dollars. Bill Gates is a good example. Bill Gates, along with Rotary International, almost solved all the polio in the entire planet. There's an outbreak here. There's an uprising of it, or a breakout in one country now that's starting that never had polio before. But the major corporations, I could name all the major corporations in the Tri-City area. And when I go up to those people and I say, look, I need something for this or I need something for that, be it New Offshore, be it Conrad, be it Halimar Shipyard, any of these companies that I go to, when I ask them for help on something, Hanko's, they pull out the checkbook and write a check. In my life, in this community, I have raised thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for various causes. And all I do is ask. If the cause is good, the people give. I couldn't go through the back of Patterson and give a little spiel to every little citizen in the back of Patterson and walk out with $100. I'll spend 2 hours on the telephone calling various corporations and go collect $5,000. So a good example is A.J. Doman. There isn't a parade in St. Mary Parish that A.J. Doman doesn't have trucks all over the place pulling floats. If you think he benefits from that, you're foolish. The people take advantage of it, they don't appreciate it, they scratch the trucks, they scratch the beds. He spends thousands of dollars having to repair his trucks after he donates them to people to use the parades. People go up and say, look, we want to sell cookies, or I need a donation for this, or would you advertise on the radio, or would you sponsor Swap Shop? These people pour thousands of dollars in the community. So now let's go to a community. I've been all over the United States and around the world some. You go to the communities in the United States that are dead and there are no corporations, and the communities are dead. If you don't have the corporations to hire the people, and if you don't have the corporations to make the donations to improve the quality of life in the community, you don't have a community. And I can tell you, in thousands of cases all over the United States over a period of 5 years that I've traveled around America, it's sad. No corporation, no jobs, no nothing, no parks, no clubs, nothing. Without the corporations in the United States, that's what we're about. China, the official policy for China is capitalism. A corporation is an entity that can make money and is taxed as an individual. And without these corporations that pay these outrageous taxes or provide all these jobs, there wouldn't be a country. And that's what was happening to us now, period.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that much information.
Huh?
That was really good. This is a class in civics. The new Common Core textbooks that's being used in the schools now have been pretty bad from what I've heard. And this morning, my wife read an excerpt from one where they're rewriting history and they show Mr. Obama as the great healer who's taking care of the slavery issue that people are suffering from the 1800s. And he is their savior, and he is coming to rectify the wrongs done to people.
You can tell a naive, uneducated, uninformed person anything, and they'll believe it until the facts are proven to be wrong. In the case of Obama, it's an unfortunate fact that people are just listening to him because of the color of his skin rather than the merit of his life, the merits in his life. Acorn was one of the most horrible things that happened to the last election. Acorn is fraud, loaded with fraud. There wasn't anything legal about Acorn in any way, and Obama founded Acorn. And the only job Obama ever had in his life was Acorn. So now he's the President of the United States. Now, humans in general are sheep. Americans who aren't educated and don't keep up with what's going on, including many educated Americans, are sheep. And until they know any better, they're led to the slaughter. And let me give you the finest example of being led to the slaughter. The Jews in World War II were led to the slaughter. Most had no idea what would befall them, and thousands and millions died. And they were led, they didn't know to the very end that they were going to die. So, that's the best example I can give you.
All right. Mr. Dutch, if you could tell me in very short order, since you was born, what kind of jobs have you done? Like your first job to what you're doing now. If you would just give me what you did in the short order. Can you do that?
Wow, boy, I'm getting some loaded questions, huh? I don't know where this is going.
Well, you see.
Well, let me tell you this. First of all, if anybody ever watched this, I'm an immigrant.
First of all, I'm learning to be an interviewer. Second of all, I'm trying to see what questions work. Third of all, this is some really good information.
Most people don't know that I'm an immigrant. So I came to this country at age 10 speaking only Spanish. So I had to repeat the third grade so I could learn to speak English. At age 13 and a half or so, my stepfather abandoned us. I was born in Holland, brought here from Venezuela. My mother's husband abandoned us. There were 3 children. We had no food, no house. There was no welfare in those days. There was no food stamps in those days. So I'm out there as a roughneck when I'm 16 years old, and I was 13-year-old cutting grass. As a 17-year-old, I've lied about my age. I'm in the Gulf of Mexico as a roughneck. So what have I done in my life? Well, you name it, and I've probably had it as a job. In the oil field, I've been a roustabout, a roughneck, a boat hand, a diver. I've built houses, built businesses. Along the way, I got a college degree. I spent 11 years in the military. I was an officer. And I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to lead great young American soldiers on other soils as well as the United States of America. And this phenomenal country that we have is being destroyed by the forces that I have yet to figure out. But it's being taken away from us, and the sheep are too blind to see it.
What's your advice to young people who want to become financially independent?
Go to work. Get off your butt. Put the TV away. Start something. You weren't born knowing how to walk. You weren't born knowing how to crawl. You weren't born knowing how to ride a bicycle. And you weren't born knowing how to run a business. And you weren't born how to make profit and become successful. What you can do is you can just work hard. And when you work hard, people that recognize those traits in you will support you, help you, and guide you along the way. All you have to do is work hard, and it'll come to you. If you're honest and you're drug-free and you work hard in this country, you will succeed. If following your nose and following the booze and following the women as a teenager is more important in your future, then your future will be just what you made of it when you were young. Irresponsible when you were young, and you'll have your hand out when you're older.
How do you like working with the festival?
The festival?
Yeah, the Sawmill Festival.
And we got to cut it out.
Okay, I got to stop now.
Yeah. There's a man walking outside. His name is Junior. The Cypress Sawmill Festival is a wonderful opportunity for wholesome family entertainment. All American, wholesome family entertainment. It's an opportunity for these organizations that are volunteer organizations that do so much for the citizens of our community. It's an opportunity for them to make money by selling the various things and making a percentage of it. And these men work. They work. They put hour after hour after hour selling what they sell. The money that is gained from the people at the festival to do this is turned around and put right back into the festival. And so what is the Cypress Sawmill Festival? Is an opportunity for the community to enjoy some leisure activity. It's a wonderful family activity. You come with your kids, you turn them loose. It doesn't cost you but a few dollars for a carload. And that's that in a nutshell.
Wasn't y'all festival like nominated like the best top?
You what?
Isn't y'all festival like one of the top 10 festivals?
I'll be with you in a minute, buddy. The Cypress Sawmill Festival is one of the highest rated festivals in Louisiana, and it had achieved that status because of the super hard work of so many great volunteers. You have to have people with a vision, and it started from scratch, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's more efficient, it's more costly. We have wonderful fireworks shows, we have lumberjack shows. This coming year we'll start having pet zoos again for children. It costs $10 for a family to drive in with a carload of people, whether it's 1 or 20, and you just turn everybody loose. And if you don't want to spend any money on rides or food, you don't have to do any of that. You just turn your kids loose inside. There's plenty for them to do.